Hey, kindergartners, we are in the middle of our week about how do baby animals move. That was our question this week. And you should have just finished watching all of your vocabulary videos. So we have some 5 words that we're going to be listening for in today's story. We have movement, we have adventure, and then the new 3 words were exhausted. What is exhausted? Good. Excited. Woohoo! And arrived. When you arrived, you say, I'm here. So I want you to be listening for those 5 words while we're reading our story and do those motions when we get to those words. That way we remember what those words mean. So this story, I want you thinking about how do the animals in this story move? Because just looking at this picture, do you think these 2 animals are going to move the same way? No, it looks like they're going to move differently. So this story is called, and you might have heard this one before, The Tortoise and the Hare. And this is a fable, and a fable teaches us a lesson. Everyone say, thank you, fable. Yeah, because it's going to teach us a lesson. So let's read this fable called The Tortoise and the Hare. Make sure you're listening for those 5 vocab words, as well as seeing how do those baby animals move in this story. The Tortoise and the Hare. Tomorrow will be the first day of school for the forest animals. Henry Hare was eager to start. He told his friend Tommy Tortoise that he wanted to be the fastest one at school. Look at me go! He bragged, doing high hops from tree to tree. No one can catch me. I'll be the first one at school. Tommy Tortoise sighed. It was true. Henry's movement. Oh, there's a word. What do we do for movement? Good. Henry's movement was fast, while Tommy crawled very, very slowly. Tommy inched toward the tree while Henry hopped in circles around him. I know, said Tommy. Let's have a race to see who gets to school first. Then we'll know which one is the faster animal. Henry laughed. Okay, Tommy, I'll race you. It will be easy to win because I hop quickly and you crawl slowly. So just there, they talked about how they're going to move. How does Henry move? Remember, Henry is the hare. How does Henry the hare move? Hare is another word for bunny. Good, he hops. And how does Tommy Tortoise move? He crawls. He's just walking slowly. So we have hopping and crawling. So they're going to have a race to see who can get to school fastest the next day. All right, so let's go to our next picture. Here we are. Ooh, looks like we have some other characters joining in. The next morning, Tommy and Henry met at the starting line for their race. Henry could not wait to begin. He hopped quickly from one side of the road to the other, while Tommy crawled very slowly to the starting line. Henry laughed. Are you sure you want to race, Tommy? You know I'm going to win. You crawl so slowly, and it's a long way to school. You'll be exhausted. Ooh, exhausted. Show me exhausted. Yeah, tired. You'll be exhausted after just a few minutes. I don't know about that, said Tommy. I may surprise you. Everyone came to watch the race and cheer for Henry and Tommy. Their parents stood by the starting line and helped them get ready. Freddie Fox agreed to start the race. He looked down at his watch and then shouted, Ready, set, go! Henry quickly hopped across the starting line, racing past his friend. So they just started the race. Who's going faster right now? Henry or Tommy? Henry's going faster, right? He hops quickly past him. Let's see if Henry's going to keep that up or not. All right. Our computer's moved. There it goes. Uh-oh. What is going on in this picture? Soon, Henry was far ahead of Tommy. He hopped faster and faster until he reached the halfway mark and became too tired to go on. He looked around and noticed his favorite flowers growing near the side of the road. Then he saw his friend Sam standing nearby watching the race. In this picture, who's Sam? Sam is the squirrel. I think if you look closely, what's really cool is that Henry starts with what sound? Henry starts with a, and what kind of animal are they calling Henry in this story? A hare. Henry, hare. They both start with that sound. And what letter says H? Good. And then we have Tommy Turtle, or Tommy Tortoise. What does Tommy start with? Tommy starts with a t, t, t. And what does Tortoise start with? Tortoise starts with a t, t, t. What letter says T? T. So both Tommy and Tortoise start with a T. So their names start with the same letter as what kind of animal they are. And then we have Sam over here. And what does Sam start with? Sam starts with a S, Sam. And what kind of animal is Sam? He's a squirrel. And if Sam starts with a S, then squirrel also starts with a S. So the author who wrote this story did a really good job of making his characters' names match their animals. All right, so Henry just saw his friend Sam. What's he going to do? Henry looked behind him, but he couldn't see Tommy. Tommy is so slow, he'll never catch up to me, he thought. I can rest here for a while and I'll still win. So Henry decided to rest his legs and talk to Sam before finishing the race. Meanwhile, Tommy crawled at his slow but steady pace. So is Tommy stopping at all? No, Tommy's just keep going. The race was so exciting. Oh, exciting. What do we do for exciting? Woohoo! The race was so exciting that he didn't feel exhausted. He didn't even feel tired. When he arrived, what do we say for arrived? I'm here. When he arrived at the halfway mark, he didn't notice Henry talking to Sam on the side of the road. Henry didn't notice Tommy either. Tommy kept crawling toward the finish line while Henry talked and talked. Uh-oh, what happened? Who's in first place now? Yeah, Tommy. Tommy just crawled right past Henry. And Henry's just still talking. All right, let's see what's going to happen at the end. Oh, here we go. Suddenly, Henry remembered the race. He looked around, but he didn't see Tommy anywhere. He must still be far behind, Henry thought. I'm going to hop to school and win. But is Tommy far behind Henry right now? No, Tommy was in front of Henry. He said goodbye to Sam and zoomed off down the road. As Henry hopped ahead, he saw his parents and friends standing and cheering in front of the school. But they weren't cheering for him. They were cheering for Tommy. He was already across the finish line. Tommy waited for Henry to finish the race. Then Henry sadly hopped over to his friend. You were right, Tommy, he said. I moved faster, but you still won. You kept going while I stopped to look at the flowers and talk to Sam. Tommy smiled at his friend and they walked into school together. What a fun adventure, said Tommy. It's good to be fast, but sometimes slow and steady wins the race. All right, nice job with those vocabulary words during that story. Who won the race? Tommy the tortoise or Henry the hare? Yeah, Tommy the tortoise. Why did Tommy win, even though he really moved slow? Yeah, Tommy won because he didn't stop at all. Henry stopped. So the lesson is that you don't have to always be the fastest. You just have to keep going. And if you keep going, sometimes you might even win. All right. So good story. Let's talk real quick. Who are our characters? Who are the people in the story? Let's just name the first two, the main two. The main two characters were Henry Hare and Tommy Tortoise. Good. So the characters. And what was the setting? Remember what setting means? Setting means where are they? The setting. So the setting was outside and they were going to where? Where were they going to? To school. So our setting was outside and at the school. All right. Nice job today, guys.